1, 2, 3.
The big picture. That is what you Hollywood would stand for. Beyond anything else.
Hello, folks! I am Tommy MC 2010, the host of Tommy Talk Show, the most electrifying show here on YouTube. And today, folks, I have on an awesome guest, pre-recorded live here from Western North Carolina. Today, I have on Some Ordinary Gamer, Muta. How are you doing there today, Muta?
I'm doing good. Muta, by the way.
Muta or Nuda?
Yeah, Muta. I think you told me Nuda. I was like...
No, folks, he's not nude. He's not nude.
So yeah, that'd be enough to get me canceled if I was just nude right now. Oh shit. No, but it feels good to be on here. Like, how's everyone else doing here?
Oh yes. Is there anybody out there? That's the sound of a cricket.
I'm sure there's somebody out there like just like waiting for this to go live. So
Hello?
maybe we'll like, yeah.
Is there anybody out there? Hello? Can you hear
How
me?
often do you stream though? That's the thing. You stream pretty often.
Well, I normally just do my interviews on Sunday, but for certain cases, like, you know, for Keemstar or you or somebody else, if for special cases, like, I'll pre-record it or I will go live for certain people. If certain people say, no, Tommy, I don't want to make a big stink, let's not go live, you know, I will save it and I will just pre-record and then upload it that day.
Okay.
Yes, and, okay, Nuda. Noodle, no. How do you say it?
It's Muta.
Muta.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Muta.
Okay, Muta. Muta. Sorry, I'm an idiot. All right.
No, don't worry. You're not the first one to like get my name wrong. Don't worry about it. Oh no. Trust me. When you have a name as weird as mine, everyone's bound to fuck it up.
Oh, jeez. So let's get down here into the interview. So what inspired you to be a YouTuber?
For me, it was kind of like not. It's like a hobby you do to get away from your like daily grind. You know what I mean? Like de-stress a little bit. Plus, this is the only like constant in my life because when you work in a field like mine or you're self-employed, everything changes so rapidly behind the scenes. So you need something to like ground you and your little cubby of the internet type of deal, right?
So that was my other question. So you're a full-time YouTuber, like you don't just like have a part-time job, like you're
No. I have a job, and I have a business, and then like not only that, but I trade stock and shit like that. So
wow,
a good chunk of what I do right now is pretty much like way outside of YouTube. Like this is what I come to. Not saying that YouTube can't be a job. It absolutely 100% can. It's just I don't consider it to be my job at the moment.
Curious question. What was your best moment on YouTube, in your opinion? If you could take one moment from YouTube, what was your best moment in YouTube?
Actually, best moment just happened recently when I made that Club Penguin video with Kavos, another YouTuber on the platform. And oh, dude, that video was fucking great. Like we're talking. So what happened was weeks ago, right? Like these Club Penguin people came out with these fucking like child like grooming allegations and shit. Ooh. And it was so the allegations for all of this stuff lasted like 10 years, right? Like this was like a 10-year story in the making. And me and Kavos came at like the end of it. We talked a lot behind the DMs, like fucking day to day over this shit. And it really inspired me once I amassed all this evidence or allegations and all these like receipts. Dude, I sat down. It was like a 40-minute video, like there's some fucking documentary type fucking piece on it, and I like filmed it. I like compiled it, and it took me fucking forever to get it going, like all-nighters. And once I finally did it, dude, that was like one of my favorite experiences, because like 24 hours after that video was released, Disney stepped in and shut down those servers. So me, Cabos, and all these other people fought the good fight on that one. That was one of my favorite experiences.
Oh, folks, by the way, sorry for the language. I did not tell Muta that there's no swearing here on my channel, but that's
I am sorry for that. Actually, that's. I'll watch it. I'll watch from now on. Don't worry.
No worries. It's chill. I understand, and other people like Keemstar, I can't control him. But I'm not trying to say I'm controlling you, but I'm just like
no problem.
I just saw Demonetization. Hi, I'm Mr. Demonetization. Whoop, swearing word, Demonetization.
Yeah. YouTube's not the best for any of that nonsense. That's for sure.
No, YouTube, in my opinion, is like, thank you, Susan. I really do appreciate you for demonetizing my video and taking down a whole entire video without explaining it. I
appreciate making a video and working for free today type deal. And that's the reason, Tommy, that I couldn't do this as my job. It would like cause so much stress,
Yeah, even full-time YouTubers are billionaires, that do YouTube. It's stressful. It is stressful because you have thousands of people trying to reach into your pocket and yank out whatever you have of your dignity. And, it's like being slammed against a car,
Right.
It's like, I don't want to be slammed against this car. Ouch. Or falling down a flight of stairs or hitting your toe. You're hitting your pinky toe against a door a door. You've done that, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, plenty of times. Plenty of times.
Ouch. Yes, I did it the other day. I was in front of my parents, and I'm like, Mother...
I mean, honestly, like, your parents shouldn't have cared if you just, like, dropped out the whole MF right at them, right?
Yes, MF. Yes, you mother MF. Boop, 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 boop. Wouldn't that be actually funny in real life if you sweared, if everything was just sensitized, like, you bleep, bleep, bleep.
Oh, like they have, like, a... Screwed up. when they had like the big beef playing, yeah. I wish actually that happened at certain points in my life, because there's so many times where like I've been to like family gatherings, you know what I mean? Like, here's the thing you gotta understand, right? Like, going to like an Indian family gathering, right? Like, everyone is always like traditional, you know what I mean? Like, be respectful around your elders, do all of that, and then you have me. Okay, who's just the complete opposite of that, right? Like, I mean, I walk in somewhere, you're going to expect extreme sarcasm, you're going to expect some cussing, you're going to expect somewhat of a bad experience to pass along to, like, I don't know, Like, I mean, I don't ever claim to be like, the goody two-shoes or whatever like that, so when I do go to a family party, right, and like, you got like a bunch of kids who are like, or like, the younger kids or whatever, and they ask me the wildest stuff I've done, I'm like, one time I thought of butt chugging, beer back in college, and I might have actually done it. And you got all the other people like, why would you ever mention that? I'm like, they asked the weirdest stuff that I've done in college. And, it was one of those. I'm not saying they should do it. You could die, but, it's just one of those things that happen. I mean, you're at a family party. People ask you the weirdest thing. You go to college, and everyone, like, over there, they just put cheap liquor into the bathtub and, like, watermelon. And it's like, well, boys, we've got our vat of debauchery right there. We might as well do what we can.
Well, you could debase yourself and grab yourself a watermelon and then drill a hole into it and leave it out in the sun and then go to town on it.
You absolutely could, and I'm not going to confirm with you if I've ever actually seen someone do that, because it is quite a terrible sight.
Man, this watermelon tastes delicious. What's this cream filling? Exactly.
Oh, yeah, Boston cream-filled watermelons.
I'm an idiot.
That's why those donuts, like I used to love eating them, and then like when somebody put that thought into my head, right, like debasing anything food related, I immediately stopped eating them, because it's just like they're tasty and delicious, but when I'm biting into something with white cream oozing out of it,
I
don't know.
I had a weird thought about Doritos, and this is probably gonna ruin Doritos for you. You know, I used to think that the little black marks were on Doritos
Mm-hmm.
that cockroaches were all over the Doritos, and like somehow they would cause like this mark on the Doritos. And I used to think cockroaches were in Doritos and causing those little. And I know what it is. It's the burn marks because they cook the Doritos. But when I was a kid, I used to think cockroaches were on the Doritos, and they would rub up against the Doritos and make burn marks on the Doritos. And that's me. That's the immature Tommy as a little kid thinking, ew, Doritos are disgusting because cockroaches are in them. And I'm like,
dude, that actually sounds so close to. So this was like back in high school, right? Like I used to love Taco Bell. Like I love Taco Bell, right? Like it's great. Taco Bell is amazing. And as somebody in high school and college, Taco Bell is not only amazing, but it might actually save your life because it's so cheap and filling.
yeah.
You know, it's like honestly, if you have $15, you can feed an entire village with Taco Bell. But as besides the point. So I go to this Taco Bell and I enjoy it. And one of the buddies that I'm eating with is like, well, you know, Taco Bell, you know why the food is so cheap, right? It's because they mix like worms with the beans. I was like, what? He was like, really? It's like, you ever wonder how they're mushy and everything? I'm like, huh. and then he was like, you know why it's so cheap too? And I'm like, fuck, you're right. Not really. I was like, their Taco Bell's so big, the government lets them get away with it. I'm like, really?
Really?
And then eventually, like, I was just like, can't be true. And then, you know, it's like, it's always stuck into my mind, right? Like, I'm like, man, I could be eating worms. But then it's just like, it's so good, right? Like, so in the words of Filthy Frank, you know, it's like you could make McNuggets out of like or whatever, and like I'd still eat them because McNuggets are amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, I could dig some McNuggets. McNuggets.
McNuggets are actually like great. Like when I think anywhere you go to, that's like a solid fast food item, and I'll pick regardless. Like, say what you will about McDonald's, right? Say what anybody will about McDonald's, but like, it is kind of the bomb anywhere you go in the world, you know?
Have you ever seen that video on the internet of the chiclets in a shredder?
Yeah. I had a vegan girlfriend send me that once. That's. Ugh.
Yeah. I watched that video, and then 2 seconds later, I just went to McDonald's and got me a 10-piece chicken McNugget. You
know, and that's sort of the thing, right? Like, so again, going back to like a vegan girl that I was briefly with. You know, obviously, the relationship was not fruitful because when I started to ask her, I'm like, listen, I love you, but why are you sending me like animal snuff videos? You know, like to try and convince me, right? Like, I get it. The animals die when I eat them. I'm not an idiot. Like, I know this. All right. Like, I've accepted this fact when I'm eating my hamburger, but I choose to do it because it's a delicious burger. Okay. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do it, you know, and I feel bad when you send me it. So I saw that video, I was like, man, it did make me question it, but I was like, chicken nuggets are so good, though.
People like that, I just want to cut into my steak or eat my hamburger and say,
oh, God.
Delicious. Can you pass me the steak sauce, please?
That's the thing, though, right? Like, I mean, I could never give up steak or everything. I remember actually you made a video where you were, like, cooking, too, didn't you? You
yes,
were, like, actually...
I tried to cook. Yes, I did a video where I scrambled up eggs, and I took a handful of ham, and I shredded it up, and I put seasoning salt into there, and people made it look like I put like 1,000 pounds of seasoning salt in there when they just kept making my hand go back and forth like in a foul gesture, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
right.
I'm like, I didn't put that much seasoning, so I went back and watched the video. I'm like, I just put a little bit in there, and they just kept making me look like I was putting a bunch of seasoning salt in there.
they just like YouTube pooped it, didn't they?
Yes, YouTube.
Oh, that's.
I've never heard that terminology, YouTube.
Oh, YouTube poop's like old school, you know, where like people used to, you remember montage parodies back in the day?
I think I know about them.
So, it was just like people who made like edits of like videos to make them like comedically funny. That's kind of what it usually came down to.
Yes, and you know, I've had people do that too. I had a guy by the name of Timmy MC, which he doesn't really make videos on me now, but like shout out to him. He's if you want to find him, he's on YouTube. Sorry to give a shout out to another person. I know this show is all about you. Don't worry.
No problem.
Don't worry. I'm already giving you a hug already. So it's
giving you a hug all the way from here. Don't worry. The coronavirus friendly hugs, right?
Well, 6 feet apart. You know, it's like
6 feet apart for sure. 6 feet apart, face masks on, hazmat suits, everything.
Yes. From you're Marty from Back to the Future, and you can you imagine if you had a DeLorean time machine and you crash into this time and you're walking around and everybody's like wearing a mask? You're like, hey, what's going on? They're like, didn't you hear about the coronavirus? What's coronavirus? Like,
honestly, Tommy, if someone came from 2020 back like 10 years ago to us, I think that he came from the end of the world. You know?
Really?
Like with all the rioting and shit, like, bro, with all the rioting, all this crazy stuff, if somebody came back from right now 10 years ago, we think it's the end of the world, right? Like,
yeah.
Don't you think it? Right? Like pandemics and everything. Like, it's kind of crazy how 2020 has been so far.
I'm wondering if we're gonna be able to make it to 2021. Like, we're gonna barely be crawling in to 2021. Help us, please!
How bad is it over there for you? I don't think it's too bad over there for you.
In Black Mountain, no, we're actually very peaceful over here. We haven't had any cases. We had one case apparently at the Super 8 Hotel, but there's not been any cases right now here in Black Mountain.
The hell were they looting from there? Towels and shit? What? Okay, when you mention it's just what are they going to loot from there?
I don't know.
I guess maybe the TVs that are in the wall, sure.
Yeah, the TVs that are bolted to the. It's like, don't you hate it when you try to? I've never looted a hotel. I will never loot. Just saying, I took stuff from a hotel. But people that actually want to do this stuff where they want to steal, you know, they're like, that's
yeah.
I'm like, why do you want to steal a television from a hotel like you pay for $50 a night? They're gonna go in there and they're gonna see the TV's missing. They're gonna look on their record and they're gonna say, "Oh, Mr. Muta decided he wanted to steal the television from a hotel." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please, can you please tell me why you need to steal our television? My TV...
It's not even a good TV, too. I've been to there. It's not even a good TV.
It's like it's like old-fashioned box TV. There's some hotels...
Not even dude, it's like the worst, like, flat screen that they could find, you know what I mean? Like, they went out of their way to purposely find one that they couldn't,
There's a store out there somewhere, and I don't know where it is. It's Hotels R Us, where you could find the crappiest TVs and the crappiest appliances out there, and it's just like... by the way, I'm about to do an impression, so please don't be offended, okay?
Don't worry about it.
All right, it's like, so what is your name? My name is Apu. Thank you so much. Welcome to Hotel Us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Come again. So
that's not a bad impression. You almost reminded me of my dad right now. I'm kidding. My dad and me are a lot closer personality-wise than you'd expect. He's, you know, he'll definitely be more traditional, but yeah, he's off the cuff, you know, like if that's the best way to put it. But yeah, he is pretty Indian-like.
Some people say
he has the accent and everything.
Some people say that Indian dads are the funniest because they know how to be funny about everything. Am I right?
Oh, 100%, 100%. You should have seen like when I was a kid, we would go to like these parent-teacher conferences, and every time like, because I was like a total dick to my teachers, like, so here's what would happen, right? Like, when I was in like 1st to 6th grade, my mom and dad would like teach us, you know, like me and my brother, we would like fucking sit down and like do math that would be like 4 fucking grades past us, right? We would be like learning about concepts that we would start to look at like 5 years later. And it was fine. It was good. We were interested in it, right? Like my parents had a great way of teaching us. So when we learned stuff and I went to like primary school and I started correcting the teachers, because that's what I used to do. I started correcting teachers. I started like, you know, I started calling them out. I was like, well, there's another way to do it. And teachers would be like, no, there's one way to do it. And I remember going to the parent-teacher conferences, right? And it's like I would get great grades, and then my teachers would go to my parents, and it's like, well, your child's being, you know, a smartass about everything. And my dad's like, so what? He's actually smart. What do you want? How's that a bad thing? it's like your kid's being disrespectful. I'm like, well, maybe you should learn to teach better, or teach in like multiple. I don't know.
When I was a kid, I was big about talking back against the teacher, and I would say, well, I don't know what I think about that. I don't think Tommy, quit talking back to me. I just have a different opinion. Like what's the deal? Like, and I would get in so much trouble, and they're like, Tommy, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't agree with what the teacher's saying. Like,
for sure.
Like, one time, I'll say this. I'll say a situation, a story. I'm in school. I'm sitting there, and I'm Baptist. I'm 100% Baptist. And I'm sitting there, and she's like, Mother Earth has done this. You have given birth. You're burned from Mother Earth. You're born from Mother Earth. And I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, in my mind, I'm thinking, that's not true. That's not true at all. And I stand up, and I'm like, we came from God. Like, God made us. Like, that's the that's the whole thing. We're from God. And she's like, excuse me? She sent me outside, and they called my parents, and they tried to give me a lecture on how bad I was. Yes, social justice warrior. Mrs. Liberal social justice warrior teacher throws me out of class and makes me sit out, punishes me because I'm sharing.
You thought differently?
Yeah, because I thought different. Yeah,
wow.
Literally, that's what happened. And I'm like, that's what I was in a special ed school, and they did that to me. It was a public school, and they threw me out of class. My mom came down and shooed them out because I was giving my religious opinion. And one day, what happened was I went home, and I told me and my dad were talking about stuff, and I said, Dad, what's Mother Earth? And he says, excuse me, Tommy? What'd you just say? And I'm like, Mother Earth. He's like, Tommy, there's no such thing as Mother Earth. And I'm like, well, they taught us in school. Tommy, the teachers are full of it. Okay, that's not true. There's no such thing as Mother Earth. Okay, Tommy, then there's no such thing. So the next day, I go in all loaded with ammunition, and I opened fire on her. I was just like, boom. I didn't shoot the teacher, folks. I did not. I am still. Don't worry. There's no investigations. I did not shoot up a special ed school. No, I did not do that, okay? I'll
believe you. I'll take your word for it. I mean, if you did, Tommy, you're the first one I know that got away with it. And that's kind of impressive. I mean, if you're the one getting away with that, I don't know whether to be like scared or just impressed that you were able to do it.
No, I'm saying here now, I have never shot a school up. People have accused me of saying I look like somebody would walk into a school and shoot people, but no, I would not do something like that. Oh my gosh, this interview has gone somewhere really, really strange, and I'm gonna rewind it. I put that.
Don't worry, guys. I'll back Tommy that he never shot up the school.
By the way, Muta, have you ever done TikTok?
I've never done TikTok.
You should really try it, man. Like, you should really try it. It's really fun. I get a lot of exercise from it all the time. I'm at Tommy NC 2010 on TikTok and Tommy NC 2010 on Twitter and everywhere. I'm just like a machine gun that when it comes out, it's like, so Tommy, what social medias do you have? Tommy NC 2010 on YouTube, Tommy NC 2010 on Instagram, Tommy NC 2010 on this, and then also the Tommy Talk Show on Facebook, and then Tommy Gaming on YouTube. On my other YouTube.
Do you actively Tommy game or whatever? I remember you were like making GTA 5 videos.
Yeah, I do make GTA 5 games. I do that occasionally, but I got logged out of my GTA account.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, I still do some gaming. I love one of my all-time favorite games, which I am the champion of, is James Bond GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64.
Oh, you're one of those split screen champions,
Oh, what?
I like it. I like the split screen champions back in the day, 007. Oh, I never grew up with an N64, but I do know a lot about playing that game with my homies back in the day. See, I grew up with PlayStation 1. Like, I don't really say it to a lot of people, but like I'm more of like a PlayStation gamer, I've grew up with PlayStation. I've had PlayStations throughout most of my life. Like, I switched to Xbox as a console gamer, like, around the 360, right? Because that's the console that I ended up getting at that time period. I ended up getting PlayStation 3 later, then PS4, and probably PS5. But yeah, I grew up with PlayStation 1, so I wasn't there for the GoldenEye. I was there for, like, Metal Gears and Final Fantasy. Like, I'm an RPG kind of guy myself.
Are you a big fan of Team 4-Star?
Team 4-Star? Yeah, the guys who do, like, the Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Damn you, hindsight! You realize you could have flown up and you would have died.
Right?
Damn you, hindsight!
They're a pretty solid channel. They've been getting hit with the copyright stuff, unfortunately, but...
Dude, I was watching one of their old episodes, and it's the episode where Nappa kills the bug monster. And
right.
They have The Way We Were, I think it's the song, and YouTube completely muted that in their episode. And I'm like, how is that song relevant? Like, why would you mute that? Like, that's so stupid.
It's just those stupid, like, content ID bots, man, that end up doing it.
You know, YouTube
I absolutely despise it.
YouTube is like the hands-on adult. Like, they get around you and they're just like, how you doing? They're like, oh, doing fine. And then finally they're just like slowly massaging you, and then they grab your neck and they're just like, now listen here. This is how we're going to treat you. Oh, no. YouTube is like the parent in the mall with their like 5-year-old kid that's squeezing their kid's hand and like, if you keep doing this, I'm going to beat the ever-loving snot out of you. Like, that's...
Right.
That's how YouTube is, but with people like Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they're more like, oh, here's an ice cream cone, you know, don't worry about it, it's fine, we know you filmed a dead body, but it's okay, it's gonna be okay. What about me? I filmed something weird. No, you're demonetized. We take all your videos away from you. We take your channel down. You know.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that whole topic on YouTube just being like completely designed. I mean, there's definitely a level of favoritism for sure, you know. And well, I disagree that there's not favoritism with like channels like mine, even, right? Like, you know, that there probably are, right? Like I probably have gotten away with a couple things that maybe I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like maybe some takes, maybe some like videos. You know, after 2,000 videos, you kind of think that to an extent, right? So maybe there is like favoritism here and there, and I'm not okay with either of that. Like, I think when it comes to Logan Paul, though, and lately I have been watching some of Logan Paul's, like, not his videos, but he has this podcast called Impulsive.
Oh God.
And I will say, like, it seems like Logan Paul over the years has kind of matured. His brother, though, is like I saw him in the rioting, man. Like, why, dude? Why would you, like, even if you're not participating in it, just don't contribute to the BS about it, right?
I think what it is he's afraid of being irrelevant and forgotten. And the thing is, when you're at that kind of age, that's why, honestly, I follow David Dobrik. Like, because David Dobrik's always going to be relevant in my eyes. Like, he is always so funny. He hangs out with such cool people, and he shoots such funny videos. And you know, I think that Dobrik is a lot better than Jake Paul or Logan Paul, in my opinion.
Oh, 100% David Dobrik is a billion times better.
Yes, and you know, it gets insane in these times right now. Like, just the way things are going right now. Are we expecting a gigantic meteorite to hit us? Like, we have gigantic, what is it? They're not murder hornets. They are Asian hornets. Yeah, they're Asian.
Oh, the murder. Oh, we have them up in British Columbia, which is the west coast of Canada. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you're up with. They're invasive.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not. I'm just gonna say, folks, they're not murder hornets. They're called Asian hornets. And if you go look at Coyote, what's his name, CoyoteGym or something like that, or he's been stung by over 100 animals. He goes out of his way. That's his whole YouTube channel. He goes out of his way to get stung by the worst poisonous animal out there.
I'm trying to remember the name, actually. I feel like I have. It almost sounds like some crocodile hunter stuff, you know, like Steve Irwin.
He does. He talks about wild animals and stuff like that, folks. If any of you know the person's name that I'm talking about, please put it in the comments below this video.
Mm-hmm.
So before we end the interview here, what is your plans for the future, and where do you think you're going?
So my plans for the future is to keep financially like setting myself, for success. That's sort of the back end style deal, right? Like I'm very like long term. As far as like my personal life goes, I don't know if I should really like announce this, but maybe like married at some point soon. I don't know.
Well, I hope that no offense, I hope your Tinder dates go really well.
I think it's way past the Tinder dating stage for me. I've never gotten accepted on Tinder, so
me either. Like, I always have those weird profiles, and of course, with me being who I am, I don't know how to talk to women, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing?
I think. How many dates have you really been on, like, for real?
I have not been dating for a while now. Like, I've been single for a long time now. Like, I haven't been on a serious date in who knows how long. It drives me nuts. Like,
do you want to get back into dating?
Yes, I do, honestly. But the thing is, I want to find somebody that is going to be chill with me doing YouTube. Like, I want to find somebody that's going to be, yeah, I don't care if you film me, Tommy. Like, I'll work it in slowly, but I want to find somebody that will, be cool with me making YouTube videos.
Oh, and then involving that person in?
Yeah, involving that person in it because this is my life. This is me like hanging out with people, and like I don't do it for the glory. I do it to make friends, and I do it to have awesome interviews with people, and this is why I do YouTube. I want to inspire other people to pick up a camera or pick up a microphone and start making videos. That's my ultimate goal here. Is I want to inspire regular people, and I want to inspire children with autism, and I just want to reach out there and say, hey, don't give up on your dreams. Do what you believe in, and you can get far.
I think you'll end up finding that girl.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
I mean, I'm sure she's out there. It's not like you have a lack of confidence in dating or anything. I'm sure. What do you mean, like, not know how to talk to girls? Tommy, I'm going to give you some solid advice from me. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you so much.
I mean that wholeheartedly. Trust me. If I can get a girl, if like I can commit, trust me, you can do it too. Like I understand like the whole social anxiety thing when it comes to talking to girls, right? Like you just sort of like freeze up and claim.
Yeah.
But I mean it sounds kind of like it's an easy thing to say, but it's like at some point like I have to tell my anxiety like go fuck yourself. I'm gonna like it's kind of like think about talking to a girl like this, right? Like how you go to a swimming pool,
yeah,
and like it's cold as hell when you like put your feet into it. Just jump in, dude.
Yeah. And then your balls go into your body. Then
jump in, and then you know how it sucks for like the first like minute, and then it's like wow, it's all over now. Good. That's kind of like how I do it.
It's like I love it how people say that is like swimming. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh shoot. Like
swimming. Wait, where did you hear that one? What? I've never been doing breaststrokes in bed. What the fuck? Wait, whoa. No, you gotta elaborate more on that. This interview isn't over yet. You gotta elaborate more on how is swimming. What?
Well, you do go swimming in a certain place. It's warm and pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, it's warm and it's pleasant, but I mean, I'm not, it's... One I'm using all my effort in, and the other one, it's like, some changes around.
And there is a thing called the butt stroke, honestly.
The butt stroke?
Yeah.
That's true. That is my favorite type of, like, stroke, though, when I'm in the pool, for sure. The backstroke?
And bobbing, definitely bobbing.
For sure. Bobbing, for sure. It's like I was like, see, like that's the thing. Like I'm a swimmer. Like people may not know this, but I'm a pretty active swimmer myself. That's like my favorite type of exercise, and it's one of the best forms of exercise. Period. But I swim a lot, so it's like when you started saying that, I'm like, man, I don't really, I don't do the whole breaststroke shit when I'm in bed, right? But I guess I can kind of see it now, like the whole motion of the ocean style shit.
Well, I mean, I guess breaststrokes is when you grab the.
Yeah, for sure. You know, when you gotta hold on to the floaters before you go, right?
I am a heavy set guy myself, and that's why I'm in love.
So you like a little meat on your bones, right? Like,
yes, and that's why I'm in. I'll admit this now, and people know this, but that's why I'm in love with Trisha Paytas.
You like Trisha Paytas?
Yes, Trisha Paytas is a absolute goddess, in my opinion.
No way.
Yes, I've always wanted to get in contact with her. Like, it's been my dream to actually speak with her and have a conversation with her. I actually tried to the other day on Twitter. I put a tweet up proposing to her on Twitter.
You proposed to Trisha Paytas?
Yes, I did. I pulled one of my rings off and I said, "It's the shiniest ring, Trisha. Will you marry me?"
Oh my god. That's kind of like a fucking. I'm actually trying to look up Trisha Paytas on Twitter right now. If she followed me, I would tell her to DM you.
Thank you.
I don't know if she's with. I don't know if she's with anybody. That's what I was checking for. I'm like, if she had me followed, I would have been like, you need to check up on your boy Tommy.
Yes, handsome and debonair Tommy. Crack.
Do you watch her content and everything too?
Yes, I watched her back. I also watched her when she was with the Vlog Squad. Also, I thought that's where I kind of got the hots for Trisha Paytas. I was following her on Instagram, but I didn't know her name, and I knew she was dating Jason Nash for the longest time. So then, like, she added very much awesome appeal to David's vlogs, in my opinion.
Well, shit. I actually did not know that about fucking good old Trisha Paytas. I'll be real. I was a little bit kind of shocked right there. I'm actually glad that she's there. Jesus.
Well, she's not there anymore. There was some controversy, and she left the Vlog Squad, but she's just doing her own stuff now.
You might have a chance. You have to like really fucking seize the day.
Yes. By the way, I noticed that you have been talking with Ricky Berwick.
I have.
You know what he did to me?
What did he do to you?
He snubbed me.
Ricky snubbed you?
Yep. Before he was even a household name, I contacted Ricky to ask him to do an interview, and then he basically snubbed me. He said he doesn't do interviews, and me and him both have disabilities, but apparently I'm just not like some YouTubers just absolutely snub me sometimes. Like I think Ricky doesn't follow me but his DMs are open. I've DM'd him many times, but he ignores me. And
you know what? You tell Ricky that he may have snubbed you, but God snubbed him from walking. I do love Ricky, by the way. Like he's a good guy to me, and that's why I know that he can take that joke just fine.
You know.
God damn that. I'm sure Ricky loves you though.
I'm sorry.
If you sent that to him in the DM, I guarantee you would come on to you in an interview. Guarantee if you told that joke to him, he'd come on in an interview with you. Ricky's that kind of guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh god.
Are you gonna say that to Ricky, or are you gonna actually drop that into the DM with him?
I can't do this anymore. Folks, as always, sorry, folks. We're gonna end this show here. But as always, folks, this is Muta, SomeOrdinaryGamer, and check out his channel in the link below. Subscribe to him. Check him out, folks. Is there anything you want to plug, man? Here before.
Nothing really. Just my channel, SomeOrdinaryGamers. Really, that's it. Twitter, maybe. My Twitter handle, Ordinary Gamers or whatever. That's about it.
That's awesome.
I don't have many forms of social media. I'm a fucking old man. I can't manage more than one. Like I can't. It's too hard.
Oh,
you got to be on top of all of it. Everyone's like, get an Instagram or all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even take selfies or photos or anything. What do you want me to like share? The food that I ate today? No.
So, as always, folks, I'm Tommy NC2010, and this has been the Tommy Talk Show, and I'm keeping you on the inside fact. Subscribe, support, stay positive.